Hi friends, check this out. This is a really cool technique and it's showing you how to double emboss using different embossing folders to get this really neat look where it's a pattern on the outside and a different pattern on the center. I use this background folder with these designer folders. I use the oval. So I'm going to show you how this is done. It's pretty simple. What I've done is I've taken cardboard from the backing of something from Stampin' Up. I'm assuming cardstock, but I save all the cardboard, and because I think I might make books with it or make my own chipboard for scrapbook pages with my letter dies. So it's quite handy having this around. If you use cardboard that's too thin, it's not going to work. So you could just glue cardboard pieces together to make them thick enough. But you're going to experiment and you'll decide which thickness works for you. But this is what I'm using. And what I've done is I've taken your designer frames. You get two, and for this video I'm using the rectangular one. So what I do is I just position it on my cardboard, imagining this is my piece of Whisper white cardstock. Then I take my multi-purpose platform. You don't open it. Keep it closed. Put your cardboard down with your folder and your plate and crank it through. What you end up with is an embossed image, so you can see where the frame's going to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this centerpiece. For this card, I'm going to use the So Sorry stamp set. And I'm doing this because I actually need to make a sympathy card, unfortunately. And I haven't put this set together yet, so let's quickly do that. Peel off the backing. Whoops. Fling it on the table. And then line it up. And then the expression that I want is for your loss, which is this one. Peel it off, fling it across the table. There's a little perforation in the middle of these little bits of paper, which makes it really easy for peeling. And there we go. Alright, so those stamps are done. Now, I'm also going to use this beautiful rose image, which comes in the Best of Flowers. This is the 25 years Best of stamp sets. That's exclusive. So check out my website for more details. But this is a really cool stamp set, and I love this image. So we're going to use that. And my favorite black stays on. So I'm going to stamp before I emboss. You can stamp after you do your embossing if you want, depending on the card you're making, but I'm going to stamp before. Stamp that down. Peel that off. And I'm going to go ahead and color really quick. And the colors I'm using are all going to be soon retired. You can only get these while supplies last. Stampin' Up's doing a really super cool color refresh, and I love what they've done. But we are getting rid of some favorite colors, and they include Bashful Blue, Certainly Celery, Baja Breeze, and Regal Rose. So these are some of the colors I'm going to use. This is Tina's fast style of coloring when I need a card in a hurry. So I'm going to take my Regal Rose and I'm just going to squeeze it. And I actually want to use some Pretty in Pink first, which is also retiring. Squeeze it. So I'm going to take some on my aqua pen and I'm coloring the rose, and then back and forth to clean it on your scrap paper. Then I'm going to take a little bit of the Regal Rose just to kind of do some shading, and I'm literally scribbling. Makes you look like an artist with how everything blends in so nice. Clean it off. And now there's some other pretty flowers in there. I don't know what they are, but they're sure pretty, so we're going to go ahead and color them as well. And I'm using my Bashful Blue. I always start with my light colors first and then add my dark colors. Baja Breeze. And I can see I kind of forgot a little bit of pink on this little tiny bud. And now this is dry, I'm gonna add a bit more. Alright, now the Certainly Celery. Just coloring in my greenery. And again with the darker colors, I used a light and a dark pink, a dark and a light blue, and a light green and a dark green. Just to kind of get some two tones in there. Alright. Oops. Missed a little sprig. I'm not worrying about staying in the lines. So I'm going to take my Bashful Blue, just adds a bit of a shadow I guess, and I just kind of go on the outline of my whole image, not too much color. This is another reason why I like to use my black StazOn, because I have no fears of it bleeding with the water. I always say bumps on bottom, so that you know which way to put your paper in there. I always say put the bumps on the bottom of your paper, because that's going to raise up your image. Sometimes your folders might be, the bumps might be where you've got your Stampin' Up! Label, but that's not always the case, so I don't go by that. I always just have a little fil-a-rama and the bumps go on the bottom. So we're just going to close that up, put that down. Now I'm going to take this piece where we've cut out the square, and I'm going to line it up over top of my flower. Okie doke. Whoops, hang on. We don't want the cutting pad on the bottom. We're just going to put the cutting pad on the top. Radical, I know. Alright, crank that puppy through. So what you get is your pattern all around it, and it's completely smooth on the inside. So now we want to add our designer frame. And there you go. So you've got the frame piece and your centerpiece. Now I'm going to quickly finish this card. And take some of my white organza ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a knot. Make a cross and hold it down. Bottom up. And then pull it at a diagonal. Get the perfect knot. center that knot underneath my sorry. And now we're going to put that on the card. I don't chintz out on my snail, because you haven't noticed, because I don't want my pretty piece to fall off. The cardstock I'm using is Gumball Green and Pool Party. And there you go. A really, really cool technique. And you can play around and have a lot of fun with this with a lot of different designs. So I hope you give that a whirl. Thanks for watching. Happy stamping!